Cambridge, my experience in Cambridge have been phenomenal, right? I mean, this is the dreamland for anybody who does science, and Sir Isaac Newton and whatnot, Charles Darwin, they were all here.
Cam, I think the name of the city of Cambridge has come from this river, and then you can see people punting. They call it punting.
I would like to just clarify a little bit about the apple story of Newton. So actually, when Newton discovered gravity, he was not in Cambridge.
Namaskar and welcome back to SapnoKePankh when dreams get wings. For those of you who have watched the previous episode, we are talking to Dr. Rajesh Bhagat. It's a really inspiring journey. So if you have not watched episode 1, I would urge you to watch that, because today we'll be talking about Rajesh's experience of landing himself in the UK. Someone who has self-taught himself English, who's not gone to school at all, most part of his school life, and landing up in an English-speaking country. Rajesh, welcome back again. Commonwealth scholarship, you finally decide. Chemical engineering again for your PhD. 1.2 crore scholarship. It's itself is an inspiration. Tell me something about those first few days after you landed up in UK, and what were the feeling? Because it was probably the first time you've traveled abroad from India.
Yeah, no, Cambridge, my experience in Cambridge have been phenomenal.
आँखों के गहराए निशान ढूंढे नई एक दिशा धागे रोशनी के मांगे मेरी दुआ जिंदगी ने दी सदा सपनों को पंख दे आसमां तेरे लिए बादलों से काट लो लम्हे जीत के सपनों को पंख दे जज्बे जिंदगी के सामने फैले पड़े सिरे उम्मीद के
Right? I mean, this is the dreamland for anybody who does science, and Sir Isaac Newton and whatnot, Charles Darwin, they were all here. So it has been an inspiring journey for me. So when I landed, I was excited. I was super excited, and I am still excited. I find my excitement again and again here in this city.
And I can relate to it because I have traveled to Cambridge quite a few times as a course of interviewing various students, right? So we are sitting next to on the banks of the Cam River. Cam, I think the name of the city of Cambridge has come from this river, and then you can see people punting. They call it punting. What exactly is punting, Rajesh?
So the punt is a float or the boat. So when you yeah. So and when you
They push them.
and you use a pole and you just punt. It's called punting. So the boat is called a punt.
And I think it's a quite a good leisure kind of a thing, recreation kind of a thing, because the whole city has a lot of the river flows through the city. And talking about Cambridge, Rajesh, Sir Isaac Newton, when the apple fell on his head and then gravity was discovered. I'm also a biology student, from my graduation and post-graduation. So DNA double helix, Watson and Crick, that's that pub where the Watson and Crick model was announced, and that gave them they got the Nobel Prize for that. So awesome environment. जो भी बच्चे हैं, जो भी students हैं, Cambridge में पढ़ने की आपकी इच्छा हो, ख्वाहिश है, so don't let it go, because if you want, you can. If you dream, you can make it a reality. Just that आपको वो efforts डालनी होगी. You have to continue. डटे रहनी होगी आपकी इच्छा के ऊपर, and then I'm sure you'll reach your destination. Rajesh, so you'll end up into which college of University of Cambridge for your PhD?
So I came here to St. John's College, but I would like to just clarify a little bit about the apple story of Newton. So actually, when Newton discovered gravity, he was not in Cambridge.
Yeah.
There was a plague epidemic which was going on, and he was at his home. And we are not sure how much Apple played role in him discovering gravity. Nevertheless, this is a good story to tell. And we do have offspring of that apple tree.
They've conserved it very beautifully. They've grafted it, I suppose, right?
Yeah. So and we do have this apple tree. Newton used to study under an apple tree which was at his home, and then they grafted the tree and they brought some of the.
And I think it's what in Trinity College.
One is in Trinity College. One was in Botanical Garden, which recently I think it no longer it's there. It died, but one is at the gate of Trinity College. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I landed up here in St. John's College, which is a fascinating place to be. I mean, Paul Dirac was one of the fellows of St. John's College, and I really felt like I was just walking on their footsteps. And yeah, it is a phenomenal place to be in, and it is a amazing journey which I am going through.
And you chose again chemical engineering for your PhD. How was it, like, say, £40,000 a year? That's something that all of our students who are watching on their parents might like to know. Cost of living, of course, is quite high. I mean, Cambridge is not cheap. But how did you manage your funds, your expenses, living expenses, your tuition fees, everything?
So the Commonwealth Scholarship comes with tuition fee, etc., and your living expenses. So it is thought through. It has been thought through that how much money you need, and they provide you that money actually.
And you can save some bit of it if you want to, maybe go backpacking. Does that happen?
Of course, you can do some traveling as well as in Cambridge. If you do PhD in Cambridge, you will have the opportunity to supervise students, and you are paid for that. So you can do the little bit of supervision, and it is sufficient fund. So there is no issues in that regard. I'm not sure whether you can save or not. It depends.
Because it depends on personal priorities. But after, so you did your PhD. I think it went beyond the 3 years, and then you got extra funding, and then subsequently you recently won another fellowship, very, very prestigious, which will allow you to also recruit PhD students. So tell us something about your extended PhD course, and then subsequently your further fellowships that you got.
Yeah. So in my PhD, I did groundbreaking work on interfacial flows. And then after doing this groundbreaking work, I was a postdoc for a year, little more than a year, working on air pollution aspect of the air pollutions actually, indoor and outdoor air pollutions, and how to reduce those. And then I applied for really highly prestigious fellowships. So I first got a Henslow Fellowship in Darwin College, Cambridge. And it was again it was a fully funded fellowship, which allows me to do research of my choice, and I am the principal investigator for that. Subsequently, I also won Leverhulme Fellowship, which you win through a nationwide competition. So I got Leverhulme Fellowship, and this year I got Royal Academy of Engineering Fellowship. So all this Leverhulme Fellowship and Henslow Fellowship allows you to be independent researcher, take master's students, etc. But it is short term. It is 3-year fellowship. So it's not it isn't sufficient to hire a PhD student or develop your research group. Whereas these are serious fellowships. So this is 5-year fellowship, and I'm just starting my research group at damned Cambridge.
And you did also, when you said path-breaking research, I think that was evident from some of the international papers that you published, Rajesh. And I remember you telling me that during COVID, some of the research that your team and your lab did was also quoted by 10 Downing Street, as well as I think globally many countries adopted the analysis. So tell us briefly about that, because that's really very interesting as well, because you got a immense scope. You were exposed to so much of awesome stuff that you did, which was actually utilized by various governments.
So as far as research is concerned, before COVID, I did very fundamental work on interfacial flows, and my work was covered in all across globe, including BBC and Le Monde and all the newspapers actually. Subsequently, during COVID, my work was again covered by media across the world, as well as it is a serious piece of document which is used for various, to set up the guidelines in different countries, and it has been cited by government across the globe. And we work directly with government actually in the UK. So we were working how to educate people about ventilation, etc. So we were working directly with cabinet office, as well as so there was a initiative from Royal Society. It's called RAMP, Rapid Assistant in Modeling the Pandemic.
Okay.
And I was part of RAMP, so I was leading one of the subgroups in RAMP. And the advisory document which we essentially published, that became kind of cornerstone for many of the advisory which were given to public later on.
Very exciting, isn't it, Rajesh? Something that you would have probably started dreaming towards the later part of your academic career is actually, you are actually seeing the benefits of that, and then maybe much beyond that what you initially imagined and envisaged.
Yeah, this is Cambridge University. This is a very serious university, and we are expected to do groundbreaking work here. And it's not just me. I mean, everyone here is trying and doing awesome, phenomenal work here. So yeah, I'm part of a very big.
Absolutely. And what's the value of the latest recognition that you've got in terms of that fellowship that you mentioned about?
Well, I mean, it is about 780,000 pounds.
780,000. That's huge. So that will allow you to hire the PhD students that you mentioned about.
No, I don't have money to hire PhD student, but I have different sources. So 780,000 is for research, my salary, etc. Yeah, but we don't get me wrong. I get very small chunk of this entire money.
I understand. Yeah, that's not the point. But yeah, Rajesh, thank you so much. That's really very, very inspiring, of course, considering the hard route that you had to follow, and then it's a absolute clear outcome of the whole essence of this program, When Dreams Get Wings. You know, you had that dream at some point in time, and then it just got wings because of your sheer determination. Rajesh, thank you so much for talking to us. Again, we'll continue this in the third episode, and when we come back and talk to Rajesh in the third episode, we'll learn from him what are his future plans. And at the same time, as we always do, we'll talk to this time we're going to talk to two students from two different countries. One is from India, from Rajesh's native state of Bihar, and there's another student of Indian origin who's right now based in Ottawa in Canada. Both of them avid maths lovers, and they love maths. They've been doing well in their studies, and they would have a few questions for Rajesh around maths. Thank you so much, and if you haven't yet subscribed to our channel, please do so. This is Rituraj from the University of Cambridge, signing off for now. Thank you so much for watching.
आँखों के गहराए निशान ढूंढे नई एक दिशा धागे रोशनी के मांगे मेरी दुआ जिंदगी ने दी सदा आँखों के गहराए निशान ढूंढे नई एक दिशा धागे रोशनी के मांगे मेरी दुआ जिंदगी ने दी सदा